Yo, what is going on, guys? It's your boy LOZA. Today we're going to be looking at Dark Magician rulings that are a little weird. So, a lot of people don't know this, but after you have either activated and successfully resolved Red Eyes Fusion, or even if this Red Eyes Fusion were to get negated, you're going to see something interesting with Magician Souls that I feel like a lot of people don't know. Now, in Master Duel, we don't have Dragoon, so I am just going to have to summon the Slash Dragon here, and that means I don't have Dark Magician in my grave either. Now, notice Red Eyes Fusion means you can't summon, you can't normal, you have to set. That's all you can do after you use Red Eyes Fusion. You cannot summon anymore. Why can I still use Magician Souls? So many people don't know this, guys. You can still use Magician Souls. You can't use the first effect, but the second effect is send this card to the grave. Then you can special summon a Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl from your grave. Now, you don't have to do the second part of that effect because it says then. So when a card says then in Yu-Gi-Oh, you're actually allowed to not do that part. So in this example, I am going to send Dark Magician with Souls, and you'll notice it's just going to go to the grave. That's it. And now, obviously, I can still get my Soul Servant trigger. And that's normally why you want to do this, guys. Because, you know, if you get Ashed on Ref, or even if your Ref resolves, sometimes you just need to get those draws. And we've drawn into Maxi, which in Master Duel's absolutely nuts. So if you didn't know that little ruling, there you go. There's one new one. If you guys have watched any of Distant Coder's material, you would know that he's been pushing Master Duel rulings to find out how good they are on the simulator, and they're actually very good. Pretty accurate, I want to say 99% of the time. So I know a lot of people may say, oh, simulators don't count for rulings. Listen, guys, it's going to count in this case, because this works the exact same on EDO Pro, and it works the same everywhere else. I do it IRL as well. The only thing that happens when you do it in real life is people go, oh, can you do that? And then you have to try explain, and they want to call a judge, and it's really annoying. So yeah, let's look at some other rulings next. Alright, we've come to another weird ruling. Now, ignore this Red Eye Slash Dragon. Pretend it's Dragoon, guys, okay? Pretend it is Dragoon, because we do not have Dragoon on Master Duel. Without further ado, we do have Skill Drain up, and we're going to be using our Magician Souls to out that Skill Drain. So in this case, I'm going to put Dark Magician in the graveyard, then I'm going to summon Magician Souls. Now, Magician Souls has no effect, but I'm going to activate its effect anyway, sending the Skill Drain to the graveyard, and why not send the Dark Burning Magic in my hand as well? And look, I drew 2, and I turned Skill Drain off. People still don't believe me on this ruling. Here it is on the official Konami simulator. If you still don't believe me, get the hell out, bitch. So obviously from here, you can now continue to play the rest of your hand out with effects, so that's pretty nice. Okay, this one's not so much a ruling. Well, it's kind of a ruling. So you can see we're in the battle phase and Artemis is being attacked. Now, I'm going to flip Eternal Soul in response. You don't even have to use the effect, but in this case, we will. We're going to try summon Dark Magician. So out he comes. Because Rod is a trigger effect, it will now try to activate even though the opponent has declared an attack. So we're going to be able to use Rod, tributing the Artemis. Then the opponent can respond. If they're not going to respond, cool, we get Rod back in hand. Now the opponent gets the chance to redeclare. He's going to swing into Dark Magician. Why is that? Oh, Karakuri monsters have to attack. That's so stupid. Oh, that's so stupid. So here's the second part of the ruling. It's going to be about what you can do with Dark Magician and like when you've summoned it in the end phase with Eternal Soul. So here, the opponent doesn't have a board, but imagine they did. And ignore the fact that we have a hand. I know we're going to have 6 cards in our hand, but let's pretend all we have is Eternal Soul and Dark Magician. I'm going to show you what you can do with that. We draw for turn, cool, we draw Effect Veiler. So that would be perfect. If this was the only card in our hand, great. We just have Dark Magician, Eternal Soul, and Effect Veiler. So not really a hand that can do anything. So now I'm going to show you why we play Link Spider and Imduk. Because some people only play one or the other. I'm a big fan of playing both. Now you can just play 2 Link Spider as well, but Imduk does enable so many ways to summon like either Dragoon, Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight, or just other good dragon plays. So sometimes you can even use its effect. So because Link Spider points downwards, that's going to be super relevant here, because if you notice, Imduk points up, so you can't actually summon Imduk first, or you will not be able to make this play. Of course, Dark Magician is a vanilla monster, so we have to turn him into an effect monster, and the best way to do that is with Link Spider or your boy right here, Imduk. Now that we have both of them on the field, we can make one of the big plays, which is, of course, that's right, summoning out Anaconda. Now, if Dark the Dark Charmer is in the game, you could just skip a step here and use that Link Spider and that Dark Magician to go straight into your Dark the Dark Charmer and take a Dark monster out of your opponent's graveyard. They don't have any, but you get what I'm saying. So at this point in the TCG, this is where we would use our Anaconda effect, sending our Red Eyes Fusion to summon our Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. Now, we do not have Dragoon in Master Duel yet. It is banned. Hopefully they unban it at some point, but They probably never will, let's be real. So imagine this is Dragoon, and that is a cool way to get there. Now, because we don't have Dragoon in Master Duel, the other option you could do is send Magicalized Fusion, and you'd have to go for a play like Quintet Magicians or the Dark Magicians. Could also summon this if you wanted, or any of the other fusions that are spellcasters, not Dark Magician the Dragon Knight, because it's a dragon, not a spellcaster. I don't know why it really should be a spellcaster. Would have been nice, but sure. We are playing Upstart Goblin, and we are going to chain Soul Servant, so as you know, this is the correct way to play this sequence out, so your opponent doesn't ash you on Upstart, but you still get to search exactly what you want through the use of Soul Servant. Now, what we're going to stack today is Mahad. Some people really like this card. I don't like it that much. I did play it in a True Draco build I once played, and you can see Mahad did not activate. We upstarted, and then we drew Mahad, but Mahad did not activate. The reason for that is, if you read Upstart closely, Upstart actually says draw a card, and then your opponent gains 1,000. And unfortunately, Mahad is not an if effect. If you read Mahad, he says when you draw this card. When you draw, when effects miss timing. If this card said, if you draw this card, it would still summon. Because it says when you draw this card, the last thing that happened needs to be you drawing this card. But since in Upstart's case, you drew a card and then your opponent gained 1,000, Mahad actually misses its window to activate. That is tragic. Another reason to tell Konami they stink. So yeah, that's quite frankly bullshit. Now unfortunately, because of the way Mahad is worded, I'm not even sure if this one will work either, so let's give it a try. Magician Soul's last line of text does say draw that many cards, but I think because we're chaining Soul Servant as well, it's actually preventing us from summoning Mahad, since the last thing we're doing in the chain isn't drawing. But let's find out. We're going to use Magician Soul's effect, sending away Circle to draw, which is a little questionable, I would say, normally, but that's fine. We are then going to chain Soul Servant from our hand. We're actually going to tuck the Mahad from our hand back on top of the deck. Another super questionable play, which you shouldn't normally do, but that's alright. For this example, it's okay. And there's Mahad on top of the deck. We are going to draw it. Mahad is going to activate. So there you go. Because Magician Souls says draw as the last thing on the card, the chain resolves properly. While Magician Souls was the first thing in the chain, Mahad reads the chain backwards as well, right? Mahad goes Chain Link 2 was a stacking effect, Chain Link 1 was Magician Souls sending for cost to draw, and the last part is the important part, the drawing part. So now you can actually summon your Mahad out. So that's cool. Magician Souls, luckily the card in our archetype, does actually help you to summon Mahad. Yo, I have discovered one more ruling that is pretty important for you guys to know. So I am sending the Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight, to the grave with Dogmatica Punishment. A couple of people have mentioned to me, hey, why don't you send Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight, to the grave using, you know, Nadir or Dogmatic Punishment and just Eternal Soul it back. Well, look, guys, I'm flipping Eternal Soul with no Dark Magician here, so I've already accepted that this game is probably over. But look, I'm going to use Eternal Soul here, and there's no effect. Monsters that were not summoned properly cannot be special summoned back from the graveyard because Dark Magician the Dragon Knight was not summoned properly. By game mechanic, we cannot bring it back. You see this little symbol down here? Monster was not special summoned correctly. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Sending this off punishment is only good for getting Soul Servant draws. That is it. So anyway, I hope you learnt something from all them little interactions, guys.